So the reason I was able to make $10,000 a month relatively quickly is because I had a good lead magnet. And a good lead magnet is very important when you're trying to make a good business. So most people think a lead magnet is just a free thing you give away to somebody in exchange for their email. And technically, yes, that's right. But when you build a lead magnet that is good, it becomes the first sale. Now, it's not a sale of money, but a sale of attention, of trust, and most importantly, a sale of belief that your way of doing things is the right way. So instead of thinking, what can I give away for free? You got to shift your mindset into thinking, what is that first breakthrough somebody needs to believe that my product is the solution? Because when you nail that, whatever you're selling becomes simple and inevitable. Now, I'm going to tell you what most people do when they try to create a lead magnet. They throw together some checklist, a PDF of random tips, or a little 3-page guide on how to lose weight filled with general advice that anybody could just Google. And then they wonder why nobody opts in. Or worse, why people do opt in, but never buy the product afterwards. Now here's why that happens. The lead magnet they built doesn't build a new belief. It doesn't teach anything transformational, and it doesn't set up your product as the next logical step. Now, a great lead magnet does all those 3 things. It creates a belief shift, it positions you as the guide with a unique solution, and it naturally leads into the paid offer as the next step. So when I created my Google Sheet Tracker, I didn't just post it and say, here's a tracker, go buy it, because that wouldn't have worked. So instead I asked myself, what beliefs does somebody need to hold before they'll want this tracker? And here's what I landed on. Most people don't realize that weight loss is about consistency, not complexity. And most people don't track anything. So they don't see patterns. They just guess and then give up. They eat little snacks every day and they don't think that shit adds up to, hundreds of calories. And then they realize, oh, I'm still fat. I wonder why. I'm not really eating that much. Well, shocker, you actually are. You're snacking all the time. That shit adds up to hundreds of calories. That's why you're fat. But that became the whole premise of my free lead magnet. A quick start guide that taught the core belief. If you track just 3 numbers a day, you'll lose weight faster than 90% of the people. That was the title. And then boom, that's a belief shift. It all of a sudden feels doable. It's different from all the other, lead magnets that say, count every calorie and train 6 days a week. Everybody hears that shit. They're tired of it. So it shows that my way is easier and smarter. And it sets up the need for a tool to help track it, which is exactly what the main product is. So what was actually inside my lead magnet? Well, there was a 3-step system for daily tracking your weight, protein, and water intake. There was a short explanation of why each of them matters for fat loss. And there was a video of how I used to track my calories and protein intake and water and all that stuff on a simple pen and paper. And then finally, a mention that if you want this done for you inside a simple tracker, I made one for myself, and now it's available here. And that last sentence doesn't even feel like a pitch. It just feels like the next logical conclusion to the free guide, to the free lead magnet. So instead of begging for a sale, the lead magnet made people want the tracker by showing why tracking matters, why most people don't stick to it, and how my tracker made it easy and effortless. And that is the key. So hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. This whole example probably doesn't apply to you if you're not selling something in the fitness and weight loss niche. If you're selling something else, it'll be completely different, but hopefully you get the main point I'm trying to get across. Your lead magnet should give somebody quick results and a new perspective that naturally makes your product feel like the next step. Okay? So let's say you're building your own lead magnet. What should it be? Well, there's 3 proven formats that work especially well for digital products. Number 1 is the quick win guide. So just like my quick start tracker guide, it needs to be simple, fast, and immediately applicable. It needs to give the user a win fast so that it makes them want more. Right? An example of that would be track these 3 things for 7 days to lose your first 5 pounds. Right? That's results in advance. You're solving a little mini problem but it's nothing crazy. It's a doable problem that anybody can solve. So they lose 5 pounds in 7 days, and they feel good. They got a win, and now they want your main product. The second thing would be a mini audit. Now, these work great in niches where you help people improve in something. So fitness, business, relationship, stuff like that. So an example of that would be, are you making these 5 relationship mistakes? And you have your free tracker audit. And then the tracker becomes the solution because their current system is broken. They're making these 5 mistakes. Your free thing helps them solve it and become aware of their problems. And the last way is the first step blueprint. Now, this is when you show somebody how to take step 1, but hint that step 2 to 10 are in the main product. So, for example, your first 3 days of tracking your weight, set up your environment, take baseline metrics, and get consistency. And then after those 3 days, they feel great and want the full tracker to keep going. Now, in all these 3 lead magnet examples, you're doing the same thing. They're all doing one thing, which is building belief in the transformation, not just handing out free tips. Okay, one last thing. We're going to talk about the bridge. And no, not PewDiePie's bridge where he said the N-word. We're going to talk about the bridge between your lead magnet and the main product. How do you mention your paid product inside the lead magnet without sounding spammy and, sounding like a sleazy car salesman? So here's the way I do it. It's a pretty simple way. So number 1, you build the belief first. So in my case, it was the, tracking 3 numbers for sustainable fat loss, weight, protein, water intake. You give them that on the lead magnet. It builds trust and belief. Then number 2, you show them how you used to do it. So for example, in my case, it was, using a pen and paper and a notebook, and you were tracking calories manually. It worked, but it was messy. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you don't feel like writing. Sometimes you lose your notebook. It was messy. It was chaotic. It wasn't consistent. And then 3, you introduce your solution casually. So you say, hey, I made a simple tracker in Google Sheets. It calculates everything automatically and shows you weekly progress and charts. It made everything easier. I used it to drop 20 pounds in the first 4 weeks. If you want it, it's available here. So that way, there's no pressure, no hard sell. It just feels like a natural next step. And the best part is by the time they reach this pitch at the end, they already believe that the tracker is going to work because they already bought into your methods. They already got your free lead magnet and they used it and it gave them a quick win. So they already believe in your methods. So now the sale basically becomes frictionless. Now, obviously, you have like an 8-day email sequence between the lead magnet and when you pitch. So that whole 8-day email sequence is just used to warm up your audience, share your stories, your testimonials, get them warmed up, and then the sale really does become frictionless. But today was just about the lead magnet. I can talk about the 8-day email sequence in another video if you're interested. But to wrap up, your lead magnet isn't just for building your email list. It is for building trust and belief. It should give somebody a quick, fast result and a new perspective that naturally makes your product feel like the next step. It should also, when done right, at least, it should set you up to make the sales pretty much automatically because belief has already been established before the pitch. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, give me some ideas, give me your thoughts. And let me know if you want me to make a video on the 8-day email sequence that I use to get more sales and higher conversions. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.